Jurassic World Dominion, directed by Colin Trevorrow. This is the final movie in the Jurassic World trilogy, as well as the conclusion to 30 years worth of dinosaurs. But does this movie have what it takes to wrap everything up and make every generation of Jurassic fans happy? Well, let's get into it. Hello friends and welcome back to the Brockopp side. And real quick, if you guys have seen this movie yet, comment down below what you thought about it. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Or if you haven't seen it yet, what are you looking forward to in this movie? The return of Sam Neill, Laura Dern, just more dinosaurs eating people? So I had a great deal of concern coming into this movie because I wasn't overly impressed with Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I had two different theories as to how this movie was going to turn out. Either it's going to be this well-made, nostalgic-driven finale that just wraps everything up nicely, or it's going to be a complete dumpster fire that just flushes everything down the toilet and makes you go, huh? And after getting to see the movie early last night, I think I can safely say that Jurassic World Dominion, while definitely far from perfect, is probably the best case scenario as a conclusion to this series could be, so it's leading more towards this direction, but not everybody might agree with me on that. Right off the bat, the beginning of the movie just really did not hook me in. Aside from one quick, Mosasaurus attack on a fishing boat, it just goes straight into another exposition dump like Fallen Kingdom did, with a news report about the dinosaurs roaming around the world and people having to adapt and all that. But it did lead into a couple moments I really liked in the movie, which was seeing humans out in their everyday lives having to interact with these dinosaurs now, like seeing an Apatosaurus wander into like a factory and the workers have to, very carefully guided away. So it was interesting to kind of see that normal everyday interaction. And then on the flip side, you've got, your shady underground black market dinosaur fight club dealing stuff. But I do appreciate how the movie does not forget to have those nice intimate moments with these, giant prehistoric creatures, because these Jurassic World movies can definitely lean more into the big grand blockbuster spectacle of giant dinosaurs running around, but also does not skimp out on the horror elements of Jurassic Park either, which was really nice. So then, surprise surprise, I got really invested into the movie once the legacy characters of Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, and Ian Malcolm were introduced, because number one, it was just cool to see these guys together again after so many years, but also, my biggest concern with their usage in this movie was that they were only going to be thrown in for like the last 10-15 minutes, just be like, hey guys, remember us? And then just vanish. Thankfully, they are introduced at the very beginning, and they are an important element to the movie as a whole. Even if it really was probably just for plain old nostalgia bait, but it worked. And to go along with that, we finally get to see another big company besides InGen do something with these dinosaurs, because ever since the first movie, there's been this whole corporate espionage trying to steal, embryos and information and stuff, but we never got to really see a rival company try to, do something with dinosaurs, make their own, whatever. So this time, this different company comes in, tries to create, this big dinosaur sanctuary, but naturally, it's a big company trying to mess with nature, and of course, there are some, more shady, ulterior motives going on there, and of course, naturally, the villain is just another rich guy with glasses trying to control the world, because that's all you can do with villains in these movies, apparently. But I do like how this rival company does tie directly back into the first Jurassic Park movie. I'm not gonna say how specifically, so I don't spoil it for anybody, but story-wise, it does feel like it ultimately is rather tame and plays it incredibly safe, taking a lot of pages out of Jurassic Park, put the main characters back on an island with dinosaurs and everything goes to hell. That all comes into play later in the movie, but then towards the beginning, they try to make it like this big, grand, globe-trotting action adventure with dinosaurs and motorcycles and planes and all this kind of other stuff, which makes the movie just feel a little disjointed at times, because it's like, are we trying to do this thing, or are we trying to go, a little more traditional? This movie is definitely not going to please everybody. If you were never really on board with the Jurassic World movies, period, this one's probably not going to sway you. Personally, with the first Jurassic World movie, while definitely not as good as the first one, I still had a great time with it because I just really enjoyed the big, fun, dumb summer blockbuster elements while having some callbacks to the original. Then Fallen Kingdom, had some interesting ideas, but ultimately just was not executed that greatly. But ultimately, I enjoyed Jurassic World Dominion way more than I thought I was going to. And even though the movie doesn't take any risks and is still nowhere near as good as Jurassic Park, it just felt great to see, Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, Ian Malcolm together again, bring all these characters together, tie up a few loose ends, have a good, little bit of member berries tossed in there. One thing I can say for certain, though, is that the Jurassic Park franchise is in significantly better shape than the Terminator. But that's not really saying a whole lot. I'm gonna give Jurassic World Dominion a silver unboxing machete. So if you want to see some more movie reviews from me, you can check out this playlist right over here, or if you want to see what YouTube recommends you watch me next, you can check out that video right down there, and of course subscribe if you live, talk, and buy movies, and we'll see you on the Jurassic side.